While the refinery's chimneys and tanks tower above all the other buildings in the region, only a few meters separates Snezana Marinkovska's garden from the OKTA works. But it's not just the view that bothers her.
We sleep in oil. We drink water contaminated with oil, just like the air we breathe. Sulfur, lead, iron, and yet the Environment Ministry says there's no pollution here.
The 54-year-old cook shows us the oil in her garden. Her children and grandchildren all have respiratory diseases, and she's got skin cancer.
In the 28 years I was working, I never had any problems. Since 2000, I've been suffering from skin cancer. That comes from the sulfur in the air and on our clothes.
The residents of neighbouring Miladinovska complain of environmental problems. The water from Stanko Josef's pump is a dirty grey.
The quality is bad. It stinks. You shouldn't even water plants with this stuff.
He does so anyway. He hasn't got any choice. But things look bad in his greenhouse. The peppers he hangs out to dry have black spots, and the new shoots are doing poorly.
I potted these plants recently. Look what's happening. They're drying out. At
the refinery, the complaints fall on deaf ears. No one from OKTA will talk on camera, despite repeated requests. The Environment Ministry is responsible for monitoring the refinery, but environmental activists argue that the information it releases on water and air quality is scanty and unreliable. They want independent researchers to carry out the first proper survey of the soil.
Their wastewater treatment is not working properly. As you can see, there is a lot of land around us which the villagers use it as for their agricultural activities. And it really worries me that some of this contaminated water is actually going into the products they produce.
The Environment Ministry insists regular controls are carried out at OKTA and says there are no serious problems there. It maintains contamination levels have rarely been an issue since a sulfur removal plant was put in.
As far as the quality of the oil is concerned, the refinery is used to process bad quality crude oil. But that certainly doesn't mean OKTA is polluting the environment.
Nevertheless, questions about the refinery still seem to irritate the spokesman who's been sent to deal with the press. The ministry knows the plant is controversial. The sale of the former state-owned cooperative to Greece 11 years ago was overshadowed by suspicions of bribery. And some clauses in the contract are not precisely favourable to Macedonia.
There's a clause explicitly stating that if Macedonia adopts international environmental protection agreements and makes them law, and that leads to additional costs for OKTA, Macedonia has to reimburse the refinery for the additional expenditure.
Both locals and conservationists think the clauses are an indication that OKTA enjoys special political protection. Paediatrician Mitko Matinchaski has been under pressure ever since he decided to speak up about the cause of his young patient's respiratory illnesses. The State Health Fund has only paid him half of the fees owing to him, but he refuses to be intimidated.
We've seen indications that OKTA's production is concentrated on Saturdays and Sundays when there are no checks. The following Monday, I have 60 young patients sitting here.
Asthma, laryngitis, anemia, allergies. The list of illnesses goes on, and sometimes the paediatrician feels he's at the end of his tether.
People ask me, "Doctor, what should we do with our kids?" I can only tell them, move away if you can. Nothing else helps.
Martinchowski's detractors say there's no scientific evidence linking air quality and the rising level of sickness around the refinery, but the people there have a different experience.